So, do you remember that time that I ended up diving down a 40-foot wall into some water that we later found out was getting drained into by a sewer? Because honestly, I'm having a hard time forgetting.
You're silly.
Well, it was... It suited you, trying a bit more adventure, cooped up in that castle all that time.
I was perfectly happy where I was. One day with you.
Well, there's many more to come.
Yes. I still really appreciate you volunteering to go. That was wonderfully brave of you.
No problem. To be fair, though, I am the heaviest of all, so the two of you trying to lower me down on a rope probably wouldn't have worked that well.
We could have tied it to a wall, I just don't think you wanted to go.
I'd probably have had that wall down, to be honest, love. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a big girl. Anyway, we dealt with the snappies. You went down and got yourself a little chest. We then had to haul the damn thing up over a long period of time. Bit of a struggle there. We got it in the end.
Yes, for all the good it did us.
But then we found all those weird underground pens and that chest. That chest had all those symbols on it. And I could read half of them. You could read the other half.
Convenient, wasn't it?
Maybe. And then there was all those underground pens. Like, who keeps animals underground?
Yes, I mean, obviously not well. They ended up just climbing around freely.
Well, we don't know that they came from the pens, but certainly they did seem quite happy living at the bottom of that sewer.
Well, either the crocodiles came out of the pens, or I really need to worry more about where crocodiles come from.
Well, when a mass crocodile and a femme crocodile love each other very much.
Then they end up adjacent to that ridiculous man and his ridiculous estate and that ridiculous day that I had to spend in the sewer water.
Anyway, eventually we got the chest open, and we found a bunch of stuff, and then we just sort of kept on wandering, right into, well...
So what did you find? What did you find already?
Further up, trees, you hear whining. As you get closer, you recognize the sounds as the dogs from earlier. You hear them gasp.
It's the big food. The big food is back. The big food is mad.
You see them turn towards something. Out of the darkness, you see something kind of slink forward. A tap, like wood on stone, as something takes its steps towards you. Does anybody speak Goblin?
I speak Orc.
Goblin, I think, is different from Orc.
It probably is.
Goblin is not Orc.
Yeah, it's not.
Hang on, finding page. There we go. No, but they do share Dwarvish script.
Maybe you guys can write letters back and forth. Anyways,
That felt like sass.
from the darkness, you see a small goblin carrying a staff with a strange kind of collection of objects on top of the staff, and in tatters of robes step forward from the darkness. It screeches at you in a language that I now know none of you understand, and just raises a single finger and points at you.
Oh, that's a cracking staff, that.
I'd rather the staff didn't crack me. Maybe try not antagonise this one.
I'm gonna go through all of my languages and see if I can get it to understand any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of going, hello?
It does not respond.
Bugger.
I'll pitch in with Infernal and Dwarven.
It doesn't respond to Infernal, but when you try and speak Dwarven at it, it hisses at you and is going to initiate combat.
Oh, whoops.
Well done.
I will let you roll a reflex check, which please still be a thing. God damn it.
No.
It is not a thing?
It's not a skill.
We could roll dexterity to be or not be in the way,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Just enough needs to do that.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
So, considering that you can't understand what it's saying at you, the fact that it suddenly launches a magic missile at your head, enough dodges out of the way, ducking as the magic blast sails over your head. And that's going to start combat. So, everybody roll initiative for me.
Natural 20.
I got 9.
15.
Okay. So, trees, you're up first now that the goblin has launched a magic missile. Combat
Okay.
has been initiated. The dogs are flanking on either side of the goblin.
I'm gonna turn to Enough. Would you like an hand with this one?
Please.
I'm gonna step behind Enough, put my hand on his shoulder, and cast Guidance. Plus 1d4 on next skill check.
Mhm.
And that's me done.
Okay, so then it's Latonk's turn.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So I'll say that the dogs and the goblin are about 40 feet away. I'm trying to remember, but I think your speed is 20 feet per round.
35.
35?
Yeah, I've got unarmored movement.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, I don't think I have any ability to.
You have your monastic tradition and deflect missiles.
Yeah, but I don't think I've got any ability to attack multiples at the same time just yet. I can't remember if. Oh no, yeah, if I make an attack with an unarmed strike, I can make a bonus unarmed strike as a bonus action. So if I'm right, if they were close enough, I could attack two things in a single turn.
Yes.
Right, okay. But I don't think they're close enough yet.
I
Don't
will
you have
say.
darts?
Was that what you were going to say, Nick?
I was going to give you that option, yeah.
Is it about the same distance to the goblin? Is it them three and us three, and there's about, what was it, 40 foot between us, did you say?
It's 40 feet to the goblin, and I was going to say it's more like 35 to the dog. One dog or the other. They're apart from each other.
Okay, I'm going to start walking forward, just to close the gap, but not to really engage.
Okay.
So 15 foot, maybe.
Okay.
That's me.
And you're not going to do anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Then the goblin is going to read you as aggressing, and he is going to cast another magic missile at you.
Do you want a dexterity check?
Don't you have a thing for missiles?
I do. I'm not sure whether it classes magic.
It says ranged weapon attack. Does that count on magic missile?
Well, I have to catch the
No.
missile.
No, because it's magic.
Okay, never mind.
And this is... Ooh. Oh, shit. God damn it. How do I add +1 to these? Advanced dice roller. D4s. 3.
How about we just add one to the result?
No. Oh, wait. Is it... Each dart deals 1d4 plus 1. Oh, so I need to do it 3 times separately. Okay. Roll. 4, 4, 3. So it was 11. So I just wasted time. Litonk, you're going to take 11 points of damage.
Okay.
You get hit by 3 darts, 3 magic light darts shoot forward from the goblin's pointing finger again, and they strike you square in the chest 3 times. Then it will be Enough's turn.
I'm going to cast Shatter. I should be able to hit all 3 of them. There's a disadvantage against me to inorganics. When you heard wood, was that, like, does he have prosthetics, or was that just the stuff we could hear?
It was the staff.
Okay. 9.
Okay. A small hum starts to emanate from around the goblin. The goblin and the dogs kind of look around in confusion as it starts to suddenly increase in volume before a ringing, shattering noise occurs. It kind of echoes throughout the chamber that you're in, but it doesn't hurt you. But the dogs and the goblin kind of recoil in pain. The dogs are whimpering and just kind of pawing at their ears. The goblin seems less phased, but you can tell it's throwing him off balance. Now it is the dog's turn, who are not so eager. Okay, neither of them really can understand what just happened, so they're going to go after Litonk. The first one's going to bound forward and take a bite at Litonk, who, despite being quite tired, I'm sure, hurting from those magic missiles. Yes?
Yeah, it's pretty hurt.
Yeah. Manages to dodge out of the first bite and the second. Brings us back to Tree's turn, I want to say. Yes.
How are you feeling over there, Litonk?
I don't know. That goblin is quite a heavy
I'm
hitter.
asking about a rough idea of your health.
Half.
Right you are then. And how far away are you? 35 feet?
No, not that far. He only half
I went
moved.
15 feet, I think.
You went 15 feet. Okay, well my speed is 30, so I can easily get to you. I'm gonna walk up and... Let me see, is that touch-based? Okay, I'm gonna walk up to Litonk and cast Cure Wounds. which is 1d8 plus 6. 11 health.
Nice.
Hey, perfect.
So, with Tree's glowing touch, she kind of does have to stoop down to reach
The
Litonk.
bit that isn't covered in pan.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
fuck.
Litonk, you feel the tightness in your chest ease up. You can breathe easier, and you just feel more invigorated. It's your turn now.
I'm going to say thank you.
Welcome.
Right, so how far is it between me and the goblin?
The goblin's another 25 feet.
Okay, so that's in range. Okay, I'm going to run up to the goblin and twat him. I'm going to spend a key point on Flurry of Blows to twat him again and again. Right, so I need to roll an accuracy, don't I? For the attack?
Yes.
Right.
Wow, there's not a accuracy bonus for Flurry? What?
Flurry of Blows is just immediately after you take the attack action. you
Oh,
can
I know.
spend
No,
one-
I know. I'm reading it. I'm trying to refamiliarize myself. The old versions of Flurry of Blows gave you a penalty for this many hits. Dang, that's tight.
Yeah, they want speed up combat in this one.
Yeah.
It's 22. I'm guessing that first
Nice.
one hits.
It is. Just go ahead and roll for the other ones for accuracy. We'll do damage all at once.
How many? Yeah, 22, 14, 17.
Okay. Those are hits,
Okay.
and then it's 1d4 plus your 1d4 plus 3.
So
For
3d4
each
plus
hit.
9.
3d4 plus 9.
Mhm.
17 altogether.
Damn. Okay. So wanting to return the favor to the goblin, Litonk, you kind of run full pelt at it and give it a 1-2-3 combination of punches. And you are definitely, as you get closer, you realize one, you're at an advantage because you're finally fighting something roughly your size, and two, this thing is old and also ugly. But I mean, that's beside the point. Your punches definitely are landing and effective on this frail, nasty goblin. It recoils and screeches again in a word that you don't understand.
When will we end unreasonable beauty standards for goblins?
So mean, Nick.
I
That's
regret nothing.
yeah, that's my turn over.
Yeah. It is the goblin's turn.
It's still standing.
Let's see. Yes. All right. So, staggering from its unfortunate flurry, the goblin is going to lock eyes with you, Litonk.
That's
And
a new
then
trick.
What? Oh, shit. God damn it. Yeah. Well, it's going to look at you, see that you've got the pan on
It's gonna
on your
lock eyes
head.
with itself.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
gonna look at the dog, maybe.
Yeah,
it's gonna need. You're gonna need to make
a.
a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, is that D20 plus my wisdom?
Yes.
Plus 2. 16.
Damn it. Okay. You feel the tendrils of something kind of creep into your pan-covered head, but you shake it off. If you could see, you would see the goblin's expression kind of fall a little bit. It growls instead. Enough. It is your turn.
Firebolt for an instantaneous 1d10.
Against
Okay.
2. Against 2.
The goblin. There's no bonuses you put on spells, is there? Is there?
No.
7.
All right. So from afar, you lob a ball of fire right at the goblin, which strikes it square on its head as it's trying to charm Litonk. It yelps, lets out a little goblin screech, and runs around. It's definitely exhausted, but as it pats the fire out, it's still clutching its staff to stay on its feet. We're going to come back to the dogs. We're going to each take a nibbly bite at Litonk. That one's a hit, and that's also a hit, I think. I think I remember your AC. It's 12, right? Or 14?
15.
Okay. Well, they're still both hits. Litonk, you took 3 damage. They've now nibbled at your sides, less intimidated by small food. That brings us back to trees.
I'm going to hurry up to Litonk and offer guidance with consent. Would you like an hand?
I mean, how much room is there for me to suggest not doing that? Because, I mean, we killed the first dog pretty easily, so I don't think the dogs are a threat. We've blown the shit out of the goblin.
If you'd rather I didn't, that's no problem. I'll use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh and take a swing at the goblin.
Okay.
12.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
3.
Nice. Okay. So, stepping closer, Trees kind of towers over the goblin, and the dogs, you kind of passively understand them whispering,
Like it's the big food. Big food dangerous.
as you conjure up your magical shillelagh once more, you bring it down with a sickening thud over the goblin, who crumbles and falls.
If the goblin that we look upon should crumble and fall.
It is Latonk's turn.
I'm gonna hit one of the dogs.
Okay.
11.
That's not a hit.
We know what their AC is now.
It's gonna bring it back though to enough.
So I can use a speech, a movement, and an action in one turn, yeah?
Mhm.
Trees, are they going to behave?
Listen, we've killed the rest of them. Are you going to give us any trouble, or are you going to fuck off?
Are you giving him the option?
I was rather hoping for a pat.
Well, if you wait till my next turn, I can try that.
So is that what you want to say to the dogs?
Yeah, that's what I'll say to
Okay.
the dogs.
The dogs do not wait for you to respond; they just run. If you'd like, you can. They are running through technically your threat radius, so you can attack them as they attempt to flee.
I mean, if they've disengaged,
Mhm.
how badly did we want a dog pat?
I've sort of got a dog pet.
It feels like a waste.
I don't want one enough
fuck
to
it.
make a
Okay,
big start.
I will cast Animal Friendship,
Okay.
which is D20 plus 6. 11.
Okay.
Is that versus my spell save? Oh, that's versus a wisdom check.
Yes.
Any chance they're on
It did not
disadvantage
work.
because they're terrified?
One dog continues off. The other dog kind of stops and turns around and looks at you and cocks its head.
Okay. Oh, this spell has no effects on undeads or constructs. I don't know if that makes a difference.
It does not, in this case.
Okay. Not an undead doggo. So that cocking of his head, does that imply that I've got it, or...?
No.
Alright. I'm not sure I can justify burning another spell slot on it again. Oh, fuck it. Okay, fuck it, I'll try again. I will spend another spell slot on it. 11 again. God damn it!
It's greater than 50%.
Hey.
So the dog kind of quietly approaches you and just kind of sniffs.
Okay, so as long as no one on our team hurts it, we have an animal companion for the next 24 hours. Right then, you're with me. This is, enough and Litonk. And I'm Cheese. Should we walk on then? Do you know what's going on around here?
The dog kind of takes a second to understand its new role. It's learned new things now. And then he walks over and kind of pokes at the goblin and says, "Big Food, this smelly food was being mean and telling the bad stories."
Oh, well, he's gone now, not to worry.
Does
I want to search the goblin.
Okay,
Perception or investigate?
investigate.
does the dog take a rat to chomp while
What?
she's sorting through that stuff?
Do you want to offer it?
Mhm.
Okay. You reach out and kind of offer a chunk of the rat. The dog looks over at you, kind of pads over cautiously and gently, picks up the chunk out of your hand and chews.
We did? Anything on that goblin?
Yes, there's a lot.
I got a 12.
So there's definitely an odd collection of gold, some trinkets, various knives, a set of keys, lots of spell components. and the large staff that it was carrying appears to have some kind of magical aura radiating off of it.
Okay. Have insight the keys and the spell components.
Can I do an arcana on the staff?
Yeah.
14.
The staff appears to be some kind of channeling focus. As you peer through it, there's definitely things that have been stuck on with some improvised crafting materials, is how I will phrase it. You can kind of brush and clean the staff off, but it's a fine mahogany staff with lots of runes carved into it. You're not sure what exactly its purpose is, but it's definitely a powerful channeling artifact.
Should we take this with us just in case? Could come in handy.
I would just a point of order. Goblin script is dwarvish. If that changes, presumably if it was the goblin scratching shit into the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Can enough read dwarvish?
Enough can.
If it was
It's
goblin...
not in dwarvish. Nor is it in goblin.
Right. Okay.
Is it in any of our languages?
No.
Okay. I came up for just wrapping this in a cloak and sticking it on my back with everything else.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Yeah.
I'll avoid touching it because I don't know anything about it. It could have been anywhere. And then I'll just sort of lash it to my pack / the chest with
right.
some rope.
I'm gonna take the gold if no one else does.
I'm not taking the gold.
What do I get?
How much?
Mhm.
After all is said and done, there's about 150 gold pieces here.
Nice.
Having that.
I'd like to do either perception or insight. I'm just trying to observe the room we're actually in.
Okay.
So what do you reckon? Or should I just say, I investigate the room we're in?
Yeah, investigation.
9.
Nice. Taking a quick look around, this seems to be the hovel that this goblin has taken up residence in. There's a little, bed area, some kind of throne, and a little wooden sculpture that you're not sure what it is. It's made a pile of different kind of living arrangements and what have you out of corpses. Definitely corpses of adventurers, some older bodies, both a little skull pile. It's definitely sickening to look at.
Okay. And is this basically a dead end? Another dead end?
Yes.
Does the dog look corrupted like the rats did, yeah?
Make a... oh, God. Just looking at it, no. It did before, but just kind of sitting next to you and now happily waggling its tail, it does not.
Have you got a name, doggo?
It cocks its head.
What do they call you?
Dog?
Okay, dog.
Are we all satisfied that the story is this goblin's taken up residence and started fucking with everything's mind down here? And that's what's caused all this? What do we want to do?
Ask the dog, it knows before and after.
We've heard stories about a big rat as well. Do you know anything about that?
Big rat left.
Big rat left. Do you know where?
Up hole.
Up hole, not down hole.
Up.
Can you show us the hole?
It nods.
Is everyone happy to follow the dog to the hole?
Yes.
Although I suspect I know which hole, but... Okay. Lead the way then.
Yeah, the dog leads you back to the hole in the wall. Inside, it points up towards where the water is falling down from.
Okay, right. And you said there was light up there?
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well try... I mean, looking at it, it might be easier if we went back up the stairs, and then tried to work out where the water's falling down from above. And maybe have a talk to that Moor fella, see if there's anything else they want from us down here.
I think we should hurry. If that thing's gotten outside, there are going to be more problems than the ones we have.
Okay. Everyone happy to head upstairs?
Yep.
Right then. Come on, doggo, we're going up.
Do we book it?
I mean, happy to take the dog for a run.
And they're steep stairs. You definitely will be exhausting a lot of energy, but if you're fine with that, you can.
Let's just take it at an even pace.
All right. So yeah, the journey back up is less harrowing than the journey down, if only because it's less intimidating to be heading into safety than the unknown. At the top, you come back to the familiar irregularity that is the Moore estate.
Before we come out of the cellar, I want to take the
Mhm.
torch off of Bob,
Okay.
but I don't want to dismiss Bob.
Okay. Are you going to step back into the receiving hall?
I feel like you're just baiting me now. Yes.
What do you mean?
Is that a euphemism?
No. Oh, okay.
How did you say that and not think it was a euphemism?
I
Are you going
It's
to
not
put
my
it
first-
back in the receiving hall?
Did we make sure to ask the hall if it was okay with it first?
said hall, though.
Did you?
It sounded like
Yeah.
hall.
I mean, even if it was a hall, I've had my passage investigated a few times.
All right. Anyway, the receiving hall is just as bare as it was before.
Go on.
Nothing, that's it.
Well, the adventure's over. We're all leaving.
Should we have a call for that William fella?
Are you? Is that what you're going to do?
I was asking the others.
I mean, can we not? Yeah. There.
Hey, William, you about?
You hear a noise behind you.
I turn around.
He's standing there, and he has a big smile on his face, and his arms are extended again. I take it you have succeeded.
We've had a look around. Found this chest. I think got some ashes here. Got this magic staff thing. I mean, we're still alive.
My lord, water leaving the estate, downwards, where does that come from?
His eyes are kind of fixed on the chest right now.
I'm
I
going
don't
to
know
step
if you
in
guys
front of
made
it.
me heard me make that gasp. What?
Something from that basement has left it. Where would the other exit hole be?
How could it have left?
It's probably quite sprightly. I mean, I just saw some alligators climbing a fucking wall. At this point, I put nothing past him.
He didn't hear you correctly the first time, so he's not understanding what you're saying.
There is some kind of underground waterfall where, above ground, around here, might we find water flowing downwards.
The only water source of the estate would be connected to the sewer system of the town.
Gross. Still, it's pretty fancy round here to have sewers. Proper drainage and such. Proper classy town, this, isn't it?
I suppose.
Okay, well, I guess we'll pop off and investigate the sewers. Why is there always a sewer level? Right, so it's been lovely seeing you.
What?
We'll be off now, though.
Just one moment. That chest. Whereabouts did you find it?
I mean, they just grew naturally when I hit puberty. Oh, the thing on my back. Right.
It was in the catacombs.
May I see it?
I mean, you're looking at it now, aren't you?
Did you peer inside it?
Like you said, we found some ashes.
He lets out like a little sob and kind of falls to his knees. My brother. You found my brother?
Henry, was that right?
Harvey.
Harvey Moore. Was he dead at first sight?
What
Are
is
you
it?
are you doing like a riff on the Grease song?
Yeah.
I'm upset. I'm upset with you that you're doing that, and I'm upset with myself that I recognized it.
Say so for once it's not me and Jane in the naughty corner.
Well, at least it wasn't Grease 2.
Ugh.
He kind of extends his hands like expectantly.
And I give him a high five.
The contents of the chest, they are yours. If you would be
I
as
know.
kind as to return my brother to me.
Sure, why not? And I'll pop the chest open and hand him the urn.
I'm going to catch your wrist before you do that. Why not? We are in a castle, filled with pens, filled with animals, filled with corruption. I feel like we have some questions to ask.
Can he open the chest?
Did we lock the chest?
Yep.
Lock the chest. See if you can open it.
I definitely wouldn't lock the chest for fear of it coming open while it was being carried.
Okay, so you want to test him?
Yes, I do.
Is that what everybody else wants to do?
I want some answers
I'm
about
cool
what's
with
downstairs.
whatever.
Okay. If you put it down and allow him, he's just going to go over there and open the chest.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
I mean, I'm happy to unstrap it,
Okay.
but just leave it for now. Since enough seems to have questions, I will pop a foot on the lid.
I'm curious if you can say the word questions normally.
Now I'm going to say it wrong on purpose. What answers do you seek?
Why are there pens downstairs?
For animals?
Why were there animals downstairs?
There were animals for the lords and ladies to come and care for.
What kind of care is keeping an animal locked underground?
They were not locked. They could have left at any moment they wished.
That's not really how pens work, is it? It's sort of an enclosure.
You misunderstand.
Clearly.
He stands up and he walks over to a nearby wall, and he kind of starts patting himself down. Do you have any paint?
We do. We got some paint in that large chest. What you want it for?
I believe some answers to your questions may be found in a demonstration.
Thoughts, everybody?
I'm game.
Enough?
Have at.
I will pop the chest open and get the paints and hand them to him and then lock the chest again.
All right. He takes the paints and kind of gazes down at them longingly. With a small sigh, he dips a brush, or well, he'll dip a finger into one of the oil paints and begins to draw runes in a language that you don't quite get around in a circle. After a moment, he closes his eyes, lays a hand on the circle, and a bright light emanates, glowing, before a portal of some kind
Shiny.
opens. On the other end, you can see far off land at a very different time. The sun is through the portal rising, and there's long, giant plains with animals of all kinds that you can see through it.
This doesn't really explain much. If anything, it just asks more questions.
The cages, the pens, as you say, beneath this keep were a stepping stone for the creatures to come to my humble home, though they were free to leave whenever they wished.
So where is that?
It's a land far from here, another island, another world perhaps.
So why would animals come in here at all? What's wrong with that world or land?
He shrugs. The house sought to learn, to bring creatures and people from afar so that we may have the opportunity to converse. Even little chickens and bunnies, creatures from other islands, have stories, have experience to share.
Oh, so you speak to animals too, right? Cool.
Oh, you converse with the creatures?
I mean, I can make friends with this doggo and everything.
He kind of gets down on, he leans down and looks at the dog. Why, hello, Canine. How are you? The dog looks at William, then looks back at you, Trees. Why is this food weird?
I've got literally no idea. Do you understand what he's saying?
William furrows his brow and says, I am not weird.
He makes portals out of pen. It's pretty weird.
Pretty cool, though.
I don't think we're getting anything with this.
Yeah.
There's a giant rat.
Okay, well, I'll have the paints back, and I suppose you can have this urn.
Did you say that the girl or whatever was in the chest was ours?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Litonk's going to take... Did you say that there was gold in it?
Yes.
Did you say there was gold in it?
I did.
There was an gold paint, a sash, and spear thing.
Litonk's going to take 5 gold pieces.
Okay, that's all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Halves? Trees?
I spent 1 gold on the spell components I bought at the beginning, so I'm going to take 1 to top that back up.
Enough's going to look at you like you're simple. Take the rest of the gold and leave the trinkets for the Lord.
So I want the paint back. I'm happy to leave the sash. And I've already given him the or I'm happy to give him the urn. What's this spear thing then?
Oh, he kind of gazes longingly at it, and he says, that belonged to Harvey. Had I known, well, I am a man of my word. If you wish to keep the weapon, it is yours. Though, he pats the urn a little bit, though I doubt my brother will be as pleased.
So what exactly is it? Is it just a spear or anything special about it?
My brother, he possessed the gift of flight. He could soar through the skies with that spear.
Well,
He was a hunter, though he was fond of creatures as well.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, he's not really going to miss it much. But sure, he can forgive me from the afterlife. And I will leave the sash, the urn, sash and the urn in the chest, and just sort of kick it across the floor to him. Right, we're going to go off and investigate that where that rat might have gone.
Enough's just going to cringe a bit about you kicking the urn across the room.
No, it was in the chest still.
Still
No,
rude.
actually, he picked it up already
Drop-kick
because
the urn.
Did he already? Okay.
he's already got
Alright.
it because he said because Nick said he patted it. So
Okay.
He did.
I'll don't mind about you just kicking the box then. How much gold did I get, by the way?
200 minus 6, 194.
Milky Bars are on you then. Right, shall we head off?
From noble's bodyguard to rat catcher. One day with you, pair.
I mean, I don't think either of us really decided for
Does
this.
anyone fancy it? You don't have to.
We were down there to do a job. It got out regardless. We should go and take care of it. It would be unjust to leave it to the townsfolk. Come on, don't.
Well, I'm a bit of a loss now. I guess I'll just follow you to around and see what happens. Oh, by the way, you might want to brick up. There's a big hole in the wall down there. You might want to brick that up. Stop the rats getting in.
I guess we'd better do some credits then. I'm Becky Toothill, and I can be found as Curiosity Epidemic on Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And if you wanted to see the character sheets for anybody that we're playing as, then they can be found on curiosityepidemic.wordpress.com. James didn't want to record any credits, but you can have these two.
I am Jane Eris Magnet. I can be found on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. I can be found on SoundCloud as Jane Eris Magnet, where I do a comedy podcast talking about various bits of interesting media and music and stuff, games we played, and lots of silly skits. That's Queer and Pleasant Strangers that I do with Laura Kate Dale. Also on stonemonkeyradio.blog, where I write reviews. And I can be found every Thursday UK time around 19:30 hours over on twitch.tv/Janiac, where I'll be playing something with the help of my Sexy Potato Squad, my wonderful streaming community.
Hi, this is Nick, the Dungeon Master for the game, and you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and stream at the Nick Flair. And if you'd like to read some media analysis and self-reflections that I'm writing, you can follow my blog at storieswithnick.blog. Thanks for listening.